Welcome back everyone to the complete Pineleaf, and I have arrived into the Rock Bazaar. You know you've arrived when you see trees. Well, of course you also see the little bulletin board up there, but the main thing that you see here that's unusual are trees, because there are not too many places in Moria where you've got trees in. How they managed to grow here, where they get all the light for photosynthesis, I do not know, because that is quite a marvel in engineering. Oh, looky here! Kettle Mapmaker. Hello there!
A large lynx barreled up the slope and almost knocked me down.
A lynx? Yes, a lynx! Yes, you won't believe it! Yes, a large lynx came barreling down the slope, almost knocked me down. It was racing at quite a clip, and seemed to be chasing a piece of paper caught on one of the light breezes that rustles the trees of the Rock Bazaar. The lynx raced off to the east. What do you think it means? Is it some frightening beast from the depths that has emerged from the wild dens to threaten the iron garrison? No. I'll follow the lynx. Alright, where did Willem go? I assume he's talking about Willem. I mean, how many other lynxes are going to be running around in Moria? Chasing a piece of paper. What is it doing? Willem, where is he? Ah, there's Willem. Hi there. You're drenched, fur matted against the skin and swimming in the chill waters of the pool. And you're also holding a wet piece of parchment in your jaws and trying to keep it from getting wet. Alright, here, let me look at this, Willem. Ooh. Well, Bingo's manuscript. You can come out of the water now, Willem. I found a piece of Bingo's manuscript. That must mean he's in Moria somewhere.
Is this what I think it is? A page of Bingo's manuscript.
Yes. Sweet vindication. It is the manuscript here in Khazad-dûm. Surely our hobbit must be here as well. I think Willem Whisker must have caught Bingo's scent, and if we follow him faithfully, we will find our lost hobbit. Alright, well, I lost him for a moment. I'll catch up with him in a moment. I have a feeling I'll need to do a few things for the locals first. Speaking of pretty useless stable points,
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
only the 21st tall? Really? I think a couple more points on that would have been nice. But I think we should turn in this. Hello, book.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
So you want to learn more about the accursed creatures known as the Merville. Well, I'm afraid I cannot say that I've learned much of them yet. The Merville have remained mostly unseen as we explored the Rock Bazaar, but I know of someone who may know more where to look. Arot has studied the maps and gathered knowledge of the many dark corners of Khazad-dûm. Obtain from him the knowledge of where the Merville may reside in numbers. So, Arnaud. And where is Arnaud? Ah, this must be Arnaud. Hello.
Durin's folk will defy Durin's bane.
Looking for Merville, you say? Yes. Not long ago, I read a report of these creatures that came from Jazagun to the east. They indicate a huge cavern at the eastern end of Durin's Way, crawling with Merival and Merville. Let me be thankful that they have not yet seen them in force, but be wary should you head east to find the great pit where they are known to dwell. Ooh, that sounds like a fun place to go. The Great Pit. Alright, well, we'll see more about those later. And what else do we need?
If we are to find Mithril and Khazad-dûm, we will first have to deal with the orcs.
When I was merely a lad, my grandfather taught me about a certain plant that had nourishing properties. He called the plant mudroot, as it only grew near the edges of fresh water. By boiling the roots of this plant, he could extract the oils within and create a brew that was hearty enough to rouse a sleeping dragon. Well, that is what he claimed at least. I doubt he ever saw a dragon. Nonetheless, the brew was strong and could be put to use in helping our sick and wounded recover more quickly. I have not seen such a plant for some time, but I am hopeful that it may be growing here in Thrakbazan, as there are many pools and streams of fresh water to be found. If you come across any healthy roots growing near the water, please return them to me so that I may examine them. All right, fine. Fine, 10. And what else did you want to say?
We have little time to speak. Great events have been set in motion.
I fear there's trouble brewing, though. Arnfinn left several days ago, heading east towards Jazargund. He said he was going out to search for the nearby chambers to learn anything he might about Malzog and the orcs. Now, it's interesting here, he's talking about Malzog as if we already know about them, despite the fact that we don't get introduced to Malzog in the epic story for several more chapters. He has yet to return, and I fear for his safety. Would you look for him? He was last seen heading towards some of the orc-infested areas to the east. I fear something may have happened to him, and that could lead to the orcs back here. Yes, alright, fine. So find Arnfinn. Okay. Hello there.
Greetings, friend. Are you lost?
It's good to see you, Pineleaf. I am glad to hear that the goblins have paid for what transpired in Glokuru. When I think back to that day, I can still feel the heat of the fire all around me. Well, your deeds have given me hope. Perhaps one day I will build a new outpost at Glokuru, and I will make it known that it was only possible thanks to your bravery. All right. Oh, you also have a quest for me.
Perhaps soon we will toast our victory against the orcs of Moria.
Yes, the beauty of the gardens never ceases to amaze me. Many of the crystals that grow naturally here in Thrakbazan are used throughout Khazad-dûm as a source of light. In some locations, the Maraval have been destroying the crystals that have been placed in order to extinguish the visible light. Many of the corridors and halls have become darker in the blackest night. We must collect more crystals to replace the ones that have been destroyed. Search the Thrakbazan for naturally formed crystals, and I will make sure to put them to good use. Now, I can only imagine that this is the secret of Thrakbazan, then, even though there is a small amount of light streaming in from up there. I would presume that these naturally growing crystals, though they seem to be in containers that imply that they're not naturally growing, but that's another matter. I presume that there are some naturally growing ones somewhere, and maybe that's what's giving the light. Maybe just a good light for the photosynthesis or something? I don't know. But before I go in deeper into there, I first want to check to see about Arnfinn. Now, is he out in this direction somewhere, I think? Well, if not, then it'll be a futile gesture, but... Aha, gotcha! Alright, one of the things I did also want to come here is for that arm. A statue arm! Our first piece of the statue. Yes, the statue would not be complete without the arm to grip a great axe. Yes, I guess we will take that. Alright, that's the first little beat of... I'll just turn that here. Now, yeah, isn't this way? found the statue's arm. Where's this guy? Oh, he's on the other side. I don't think I go inside there yet. I think in order to go into Peaceful Fast, you probably have to go into certain... Do you have to have done anything, gone that far in the epic yet or not? I'm not sure. Oh, because of who's in there, I will say, yes, most definitely, you must complete... the Drowned Treasury, probably, in order to go in there, at the very least. Ah, there is the person that we wanted to find. So we'll take care of that. Yeah? Is that what you think? Well, if you insist. Right now... Silly dwarves! Moria belongs to us now! I'm not a dwarf. Just for your information. Yeah. I don't know what. Moria is ours! Are you sure about that? Hello there. Are you alright?
Welcome to Khazad-dûm.
Thank you for your help, friend. I was doing all I could to give us an advantage against the orcs when I was set upon. The orcs kept me trapped back here, taunting me with tales of Ozog and the days of old, when the orcs slew the dwarves in scores. I shudder to recall those days. Please, go back to Thrak Bazan and let Book know that I am unharmed, but will not yet be returning. The information we need may be found out here somewhere. Alright, fine. Sure about that? Okie dokie. Back to Book. He fell afoul with a few goblins, but I took care of that.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
So he's safe now? That lightens my heart, Pineleaf. He's a brave adventurer like you, but I worried he had taken an arrow in the back. I do not approve of him staying out there, but that decision is his own to make. He is a reasonable dwarf.
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
When I was young, my father told me of the early days of Khazad-dûm. All these stories ended abruptly, however, and no matter how many times I would ask, he would never tell me of what happened next. I know now the dark days were not spoken of. I fear by not talking about these defeats, about not even attempting to learn from them, we are dishonoring our forebears. I know Khazad-dûm keeps within the tales of those lost battles. I sense the wise old Arnaud may know where to look to record for records of these tales, but I dare not ask him myself. Perhaps you could ask him, simply feign ignorance of the matter if he becomes angered. Alright, well, how about this? I will first do a favor for Arad. Then, once I do that, he may be in a mood to think about the old tales. How about that? That, I think, is the wisest course of action. Now, let's see. We need to find roots and crystals. Right? Right. Ha 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 ha. Die yourself! Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's a shame to go and be taking these crystals, because wouldn't this lessen the light if we take too many of them and harvest them and cause the plants to sicken from lack of light or something like that? Well, it's a possibility. Now, let's see. Now I need to find some more of these things. For some reason I thought they were called growing crystals, but of course they're called glowing crystals, which is actually quite appropriate, if you ask me. Glowing, growing. I have collected a glowing crystal. So they are naturally... Oh, actually, they're called here harvest naturally growing crystals from the rock basin. So I don't know which is intended to be right or if they're both true. They are growing and they're glowing, which I suppose that's not mutually exclusive because they're slowly growing over time, as crystals are wont to do, and of course, they're most definitely glowing also. That's why we're collecting them, because they glow. And there's one up here. Of course, there's also a Merval in the way, but we know how to take care of those, don't we? Yeah. Quite efficiently know how to take care of them. Oh, that time I actually heard the pickaxe sound when you pull one out. Oh, and there's another one right over there. It does help that they are glowing because it makes them a little bit easier to spot. Though I do need to find those plants. Those plants don't conveniently glow. I think I'll find the crystals well before I find all the plants. Oh! This mirror. Okay, we'll take care of that, and that always gives us some nice little... Let's see... Infused calibrant salves, 51, yeah. Alright. I've got plenty of the other giraffes. I've recently upgraded those to be the level 65 ones, which should serve me reasonably well, at least until for the times in Moria and also for the times in Mirkwood and in Ended White, so it'll serve me for a little while. Oh. He's still there. Alright. And one more crystal. So at least I've got all the crystals. Now I just have to find some plants and we can be on our way. Healthy mud roots. So if they are healthy mud roots, I presume that they are growing. Well, they're certainly not glowing. Now these, at least, there's no ambiguity as to which one they're doing. Well, I suppose you do have the game effects where it glows with these sparklies on there, but within the lore, they're not glowing. Here's a thought. How about if I look for these mud roots next to water? Yeah, what a concept. Here are your glowing, growing crystals.
The lords of Moria have returned!
You've brought me quite an assortment of crystals. Great work. We will use them to bring some warmth and beauty of these gardens into the dark corners where no other light can pierce. All right. And here are your roots.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
These are exactly what I had hoped for, Pineleaf. Yes, these are the mud roots I remember from my youth. I had all but given up hope that I would see them again. You are well deserving of my praise. I will wait for you to take your leave before beginning the boiling process. The smell can be quite horrible, and it often attracts the deep claws. I wish you luck on your travels. Alrighty. Now, let's see, we have... Oh, I brought back the arm. If I knew that was the arm that he also was looking for, I would have given that to him first to get to his good graces. Alright, here's the arm.
We will reclaim Khazad-dûm for Dine Ironfoot.
Thank you for your assistance, Pineleaf. It would have been a pity if this piece had remained in the hands of the enemy. I will send it over to Uxie right away. There we go. And now, I was wondering if you could do some storytelling.
The orcs of Moria have much to account for.
So you want to know about the battles of old? And not of our victories? That sort of talk could get you into a lot of trouble around here, for those things simply are not discussed. But Book is a close friend, so I suppose I could help. Khazad-dûm, in fact, does still hold records of those days, though the goblins have strewn the pages all over the place, and what is left may be difficult to interpret without knowing more of their history and those days. Head east of here into Salab Nuryungdol and explore the halls of the north and south. Return any pages you may find there to me, and I may help you to understand their meaning. Alright, so collect records. And that would be to the east. That would be this way. I think that would be down in this direction. Oh. And apparently those records are well defended by the goblins. Ah, yeah. I need to go to the east and then to the south. I think there's, hopefully there's a junction. Oh. Is this around where they were going to find them then? Okie dokie. I think they're in both directions, up, north, and south. The Glass Hall. I know, those who yeah. Please, they're so nice. If you recall my discussion of campfire kits a couple of days ago, I did eventually find it. It was with the expert cook. I've got no idea why in the world I didn't see it there the last time. I must have seen it with the other recipes and didn't pay enough attention. That's why when you look for something where it's supposed to be, you pay attention when you look through the list. Alright. And now, speaking of not paying attention, this warg rider isn't paying much attention, which is why he's not going to survive this encounter. Yeah. There you go. Now, where is... Certainly not in the water. Alright. Actually, I think the second one might be up here. And up here somewhere. Yeah, next to this other warg rider that's not paying much attention. Really? You would think that that warg would be able to smell Hobbit and say, "Enemies!" or something like that. Alright, that's one side, and now we just have to find the records on the other side. This brings me back near to where I found the arm earlier. Keep on forgetting that there are some of them over here. Okay. Well, up here, I guess. Yeah, right next to another warg rider. Alright, this one's even facing in the right direction. Hobbit? No, I don't see a hobbit. Why do you think there'd be a hobbit here? Oh, no reason. Just thinking it might be a possibility. Yes. With sharp sticks, too. And that just leaves one little more. And even closer to where the arm was, apparently. So there's the arm, this is where the arm was, because unfortunately one of the things about the game is that, well, actually, do I have to come around here and into here? Yeah, here it is, right here. And that's the last one, so I can return to the Rakbazan and report in. Would these records do?
Azog's folk have not yet fully repaid for the crimes against us.
Yes, you found them, and the pages are all here. A complete tale of one of the great defeats of the dwarves of Khazad-dûm. A priceless find. Allow me to study these for a moment. All right, I suppose you could study them.
If only the elves were not so stiff-necked, we might make a swift victory of this endeavor.
I want to restore the glory I believe we have lost in denying our history. It is time to tell the tales of the past battles in Khazad-dûm. Not to my fellow dwarves, for they will not appreciate them. To truly honor those who have fallen, we must tell our tale to those figures of lore. Of course, this is not truly possible, but we will still honor their memory in another way. Go into the gardens and stand before the statues that rest in the center, to the north, and before the southern fountain, and there recount the story of the great battle. Those who fell died in the battle, and in honor they shall forever be remembered for their valor. All right, fine. If the statues don't appreciate it, at the very least I shall remember the tales after recounting them 3 times within the area. And who knows, maybe there will be a goblin who would appreciate the stories, though I have a feeling they're not going to appreciate it in the same way that we intend. Just my guess. This looks like the northern statue. There's a goblin here. Well then. Hey, I'm killing my audience, aren't I not? Well, alright. Well then, I guess you're my audience then. I'm sure the goblins won't appreciate it anyway. I have honored the fallen of the story of their ancient battle. Hopefully they appreciate it. At least better than the goblins. If I speak loud enough, perhaps Ketil here will also hear it and will appreciate it. I have honored the fallen within the story of their ancient battle. I hoped you appreciated the story. And now for the last one. And finally, the southern fountain. And honored the fallen with a story that apparently brought tears to their eyes. I recounted the story to a fountain, 2 statues, and to a map maker.
The orcs of Moria have much to account for.
I feel you have done well today, Pineleaf. Our forebears will be proud. We have honored them as we should have done long ago. And that means I am going to... Arnaud's gauntlets. Heavy armor, though. Oh well. No appearance. Oh well.
Stay a moment. We will need your aid against the orcs of Moria.
I've had ample time to study the pages you've delivered, Pineleaf. Understanding these tales is simpler than I have imagined. The author describes the events of a great detail and an incredible accuracy. The stories that are told within are tragic, but important to our history. You should have the honor of delivering the complete story to Book. He must surely wonder what has been found since, and he spoke. Share with him the knowledge you have uncovered. Alrighty then. Alright, here's an updated story.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
Ah, this is outstanding! These pages recount one of the great battles of my forefathers in Khazad-dûm, and in such detail. We have just as much to learn from our victories of old as we do of our failures. There is no dishonor in defeat when all have fought bravely. These records are not safe here in Tharak Baza. Take these to Brogar in Borgar in Yargund, and that they may preserve them for future ages. So it's time for us to go to Yargund, which is where I'm going to meet you for the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.